Good evening, ladies and gents. Thank you. As usual, I've been having issues, technical issues. So, hello to you all. Only Oscars, Jeff, Lake to Land Aquatics. Josh, welcome in. Welcome in. Jethro is really colored up. I'm hoping we get those plecos to come out as well down in the front. That is Abraham Lincoln showing off her namesake on her. That's her good side right there. Jethro's waiting for the hand to feed him. He's ready. Oh, that's wonderful, Joshua. You got some news on the swords, and yeah, come back and explain when you've got a minute, man. That's great. Managed to get that video of my work tank. So I'll be showing that off later. Sleeper Barbecue. Welcome in. Welcome in. That's a new name for me. I love it. Barbecue is one of my favorite things. That's right, Mr. Coffee. That's the good sound, y'all. Hipster J misses when I used to stream of vibes. Hey man, I miss that too, bro. I just checked on him. He sounded down. Homeboy is sick. He got the fever. He got the body ache. But I'm gonna call him and check on him in the morning. I should be just about done with all the water changes in here by that time. Hello everyone. Yeah, no, my night schedule, my working every weekend and night schedule has really inconvenienced my collaborations with others. The isolation continues. I still have not had as many epiphanies. I've had many, but not as many as I would like. I would like more things to be getting done around here. Turns out you have to do them. I like to sit and think about them instead of doing them. And there's plenty of projects for me to do here that I've already got the supplies for. So um, if and when that happens, you guys will be just as surprised as I am, and we'll all have a great time watching me figure out how to do ordinary stuff. Should be comical. Uh, Probably not for kids. I will probably be cursing, but that's how we do it. Fathom Aquatics, welcome in. I had a what did I make? Made chicken with a gravy on rice with broccoli tonight. It was good. So Joshua Templeton has news of the swordtails. Turns out one of the females is a male. Ha ha. All right, man. Yeah. Hey man, sorry about that. I mean, I was checking them out. You know what I mean? I was trying to give you a good mix there, but yeah, there might have been a sleeper male in there. But the good news is those sleeper males are the ones that can breed, the ones that end up with the full leer tail and stuff like that. The gonopodium ends up not being viable. Now I don't know whether it's not viable the entire time or whether when they're younger before all of that elongation happens, whether they can do something. Because I feel like it's a physical thing that's happening, not a virility of the fish itself. It's like a physical complication. Um, but like they're by no means sterile. But yeah, man. Hopefully you'll get more females from the babies that should start happening for you at some point. I'm excited for you. I'm glad they made it. I know that they got cold on the landing, and we were a little bit worried about them for a sec, but they recovered okay, bud. I do want to say I have had outstanding luck, and I think it's to the fish keepers I gave them to as well. You know what I mean? Because there could be problems when you're putting together a new tank, or if you are where you're adding them to. You know what I mean? Like there could be problems that happen, after they've traveled. You know what I mean? And their recovery doesn't go as well as it could. But thus far, I've had nothing but positive news. So that's really, really good. Well, Josh, do you have the capability to like click a link and like show us your tank? Because I could do that. And Latoya, every time I see her post something, I'm like, how many aminals does she have? It's beautiful, man. Like I love seeing it. Well, thank you, Sweet Acres Koi Farm. I appreciate that. Yeah, the Swasser tank just grew in there like gangbusters, and I've got a bunch of those trumpet snails in there and stuff like that. So I gotta weed them out there. But yeah, we'll be moving more Saswassertang. Your Saswassertang hookup. Oh, you're gonna send it via email? Yeah, man. I might be able to see if I can do that. I'm not on a laptop right now. We did get another laptop. It is here. I have not set up my partition, so um, I'm not streaming with it tonight. And then I had issues getting the stupid earbuds to work with this thing. I've never connected them to the computer, so we'll figure that out too. But I did get something that I've been trying to get to you guys for like a uh couple of weeks now. I've got video footage of that tank, and I've got those Moscows in a planted tank, and I scaped that tank. It's a 10-gallon. I scaped it and I took it to work, and it's really great. In the picture, it's a little overgrown. I just hacked it back a whole bunch, but like every 2 weeks, I'm changing water on that tank, and I'm pulling out a ton of duckweed, and I'm like pulling Bucephalandra. I'm cuttings like every time. Like it's amazing, and it's starting to bush out a little bit. The rock that's in the center of the scape is got some dark green moss growing on it right now. It looks pretty cool. That's pretty much the only place in the tank that has any algae. Not even really having to clean the glass that much. Um, I had black backing on it, but some air was underneath it when I got it on there. So I was gonna reapply it like with a spray bottle and actually like sweep it so it's solid black against the back. But where the air is in between the black and the glass of the tank, it kind of has a mirror finish, and my client likes that. You know what I mean? He goes, "No, man, I kind of like it just the way it is because it's got kind of like an acid wash kind of pattern to the back of it. It's not all solid one color." You know what I mean? He was like, "I kind of like that look," and I was like, "Right on, dude." So now that I've talked about it enough, aquatic moose. That's what I'm talking about, man. Band names are everywhere. What my buddy came up with a bunch of names for one of our friends. Their toddler was banging on a drum set, and he threw out a bunch of band names. The best one of which was Planet of the Shapes, and yeah. But yeah, I'm always thinking of good band names. The Hooves is a good band name, probably already out there. Probably an awesome band. You know what I mean? But where how do I do it? I go here and then right here. There we go, guys. So that's what that looks like. I think I got like a minute of it. I might be able to put it on a loop or something. But yeah, there's probably like between 15 and 20, maybe more. No, there's probably just about 20 in there. I had more than that, but I had an incident and I lost like 8 or 9 when I put them in a bucket when I was gathering them all up to take over. But there's also a bristle nose pleco in there. Looks like he's going to be a boy. He's getting his bristles in. Um, so yeah, that rock that looks like it has an eye. It kind of looks like a skull, like looking off to the right. But yeah, I'm like cutting that buse like constantly. And I've pulled another. Hold on, let me go do that again. There we go. I can loop it. So while we talk about it for a minute, I think it's like, well, it's however long it just was. You know what I mean? Like Pink Sweater Girls is a great band name. Hello, Adele. Welcome in. Is that our? I think that's our first. You're first. Australia, checking in. Adele, first from the other side of the world, checking in. How's tomorrow? Today was foggy and rainy, and so was the day before. And I went to, I went and got a haircut. I went to an eye appointment. Uh, uh, ordered some glasses online because I'm not paying $300 for glasses. Like that's what they're trying to do in there. It was gonna be 179 out of pocket, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that you guys aren't the only guys selling glasses. So yeah, June, your package is in the mail. So your toffee, your sweet toffee should be coming through. Super hot down there, and you're on your way to work. Well, good luck. I hope your day is good. You've already battled with government entities today. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? Like the winds of change are crazy over here, and all I have to say about life in 2025 is, man, I'm switching it to glide because I don't want to freaking be burning fuel. You know what I mean? Like I'm just I'm just gonna glide. You know what I mean? We're not gonna fight the current. You know what I mean? We're just gonna fucking chill. I don't know, man. The world's crazy. They really got us ratcheted up over here. You know what I mean? Like the vibes is sus. Super sketch. But whatever, man. We'll see what happens or doesn't. You know what I mean? Whenever I start getting scared, like let's never forget that the government is very good at not getting anything done. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, my strategy is to hide here in my fish room of solitude and hang back. You know what I mean? And whatever going on out there can stay out there. Fathom, I ordered from Zinni. I I have to get progressive lenses and stuff, so mine ended up being more. But yeah, you can definitely get a pair of glasses for under $100, which is nice. Oh, COC. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see a path forward from either candidate that looked like we were headed for better times. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe any of them. So yeah, this is that tank that I have at work. So I'm taking care of it at work. Got a couple of Anubias plants on the left hand side there. We've got a real big, I believe that's a cryptocorn balinese, and it actually gave us a baby already, and I pulled it and a good part of the root that was headed back towards the mother plant, and I have it planted. No, I don't. Do I? I can't remember whether I planted it or not. But yeah, that thing is awesome. Already gave us a baby plant. So yeah, that tank is real happy. And that's play sand, and we're not we got a bunch of male guppies in there and a pleco. You know what I mean? So like, we're definitely feeding the tank, but that's all sand. Sand and some blasting sand and then some like gravel. You know what I mean? So like all inert substrate. And man, it just took off and like did well, you know. It just goes to show you, you know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is try, you know what I mean? If it goes badly, try again. I mean, like, this tank worked out really well for me, and I don't feel that I am doing any more than any of you would. I'm probably doing less. Well, it's good to see you, Adele. Condolences on your loss, but God bless you, and I'm looking forward to keep seeing you around. CC's Aqua Escapes, congratulations on your 100 subscribers. That's what I'm talking about. You'll be passing me up in no time. Couldn't happen to a better person. Yeah, SC, you got to go figure out where the added charge is, man. One of those parts of the one of those parts of your property tax. Yeah, something changed somewhere. Like with everybody putting up solar panels and stuff like that here in Austin, now there's a $25 connection fee every month. So that even if you have solar panels and they're technically selling your extra electricity to somebody else, you still got to pay $25 to be connected to the city. And I'm pretty sure that you're not allowed to live in the city and not be connected to the power grid. So it's definitely a forced set. It's definitely a forced fee. Uh, yeah, the Madakas are nice. Well, enough of this work tank. Ba-bum-bum-ba-na. How do I do it? Ba-bum-bum-ba-na. Should take care of itself. Bum-bum-ba-na. Bum-bum-ba-na. Second cup of coffee. I'm very excited about that. Oh, let's do that then. All right, all right. These guys have been so good. Whoa, that was way too much. Guys, do not feed your fish this much food at once. What you're about to see happening here. I am water changing tonight, so I got that going for me. But yeah, do not feed that much. That's too much. Get everybody stirred up. Fathom, do you sing to your baby Bisher? I mean, I would, whether you admit it or not. Is the thing. Are you going to admit to it? It's the baby Bisher song. Good night, baby Bisher. Good night, baby Bisher. All right, it's actually raining right now. Can I hear it? That's the way to do it, buddy. I'm proud of you. Stephen P, what up? Yes, sir. It's a rainy Wednesday night, 11:38 in the big ATX. It's got to be. Let me check. It's 66 degrees, but it's really humid and rainy, and it doesn't feel like 66 at all. It feels like 70. Like I'm not even wearing a jacket. Yes, ma'am. I am planning on trying to breed them at some point because I really do want to have that experience with baby angels in a tank. But I have to alter their parameters by doing the water myself, like filtering it and everything, so that the eggs are viable, or I have to take the eggs and do something with them. Yeah, I won those on Dan's Fish. I won 6, and I still have 5. And I was a new fish keeper. And Terry, who is now Team Detritus, let me up on his stream and talked me through it because I was nervous, man. That long ago, Jim. Yeah, I think so, Stephen. I've talked about and thought about many fish. So yeah, I'm still waiting on inspiration for uh taking these jungles down and making them look like something. I don't know what yet, but I guess I'll figure that out, right? But this week ended up like so many weeks. I'm going to do all my water changes after the stream tonight. Burn it till dawn. Well, I'll listen to some music. It'll be fun. It'll be fun, they said. It'll be fun. Drinking out of my Mr. Rogers cup. Cheers, folks. Many fish. I've killed many fish. Yes, that is true. Um, I have more wins than losses. But I mean, I started with live bears, so that's fairly easy to do. You know what I mean? Like, and I figured out probably like 10 semi-easy plants. It could be more than that. I'll have to go like look around. But Tiger Val is my specialty, and I'm not too bad as a swasser tank. But you know what I mean? Like letting the tank be is my main philosophy. Oh yeah, only Oscars Disturbed is my music choice tonight. Nice. Um. Oh, there we go. So yeah, there's three bristle noses in there, and they're large enough to give Jethro a run for his money if Jethro starts trying to be uh, aggressive. Your Bacopa bloomed. That's awesome. I cut some chives today, and one of the chives had a flower head on it, and I was like, "Yep, I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have done that." But I gave the whole clump like a nice even haircut. You know what I mean for my recipe. So now it's like I don't know. It looks like a upright tassel. Looks pretty cool. Aquaballs Tangenican. No, but that is my favorite. That is my favorite of the lakes and stuff like that. Most of my favorite Africans are Tanganyika. But I do not currently keep any. Um, I've got crebensis, but I don't. Those are not. Those are definitely not from there, and I'm not sure that they're African. Are they? Yes, the Swazi tank just wants to be independent. Yeah. The Tiger Val up front is giving it a run for its money right now. And I don't know how much Tiger Val is underneath the Saswasser tank, like holding on. You know what I mean? Like it won't grow real tall, but it's really amazing. Like that Tiger Val will almost grow in the dark, I bet. I mean, not well, but I mean, it'll still go, which is interesting. And I was reading about that in my plant book, and it propagates uh, sexually as well as just throwing off runners. Uh, there are male and female plants, and I think I may have seen some of that going on in the pond. Like there were some spiral, like a thin like spiral going up towards the surface, and I think that might be part of like their flowering process or whatever in the pond. but I was never sure. But I thought that that was interesting that a Vallisneria has a male and female plant to it, and I was like, how often are we talking about that? That's kind of weird. Fathom. Imagine if humans just threw off runners of nightmare fuel. Yeah, fathom. If you have several small chunks of it, it's just gonna find an environment that it likes, and it's going to slowly thrive. It's not fast by like any means, but it will eventually like cover the whole tank. Like I've I've had it happen in like three different tanks. I got one mixed with guppy grass. See, Stephen P, like that's what I'm talking about, man. And that's why you are such a treasure in the community. You know what I mean? It's just like, is it creepy? Like, yeah, man, maybe. You know what I mean? But he's real interested in it. You know what I mean? And I say, go with your bad self. You know what I mean? Like, be the, like interesting, unique person that you are, man. Like, I love it. Like every time you share with us, it's great. I enjoyed your last video. It was awesome. About what's going on, seeing a bunch of tanks, what you're liking, what you're not liking, things that are going to change. You know what I mean? Like, had a real good message to it. You know what I mean? Like I was done with it afterwards, and I was like, yeah, you know what I mean. It kind of made me think about doing some things, which is, I guess it's, I don't know. It's fairly easy to inspire me because everybody's doing such cool things, and I'm interested, but it's the person that inspires me, and then I actually go out and do something. You know what I mean? It's just like I wonder what it's going to be. Hopefully, it's cutting glass lids for these tanks in here. I've got glass. I just haven't, and a glass cutter. I haven't bothered to mess with it yet. That's what I'm talking about, Stephen P. Don't let them dim your light, buddy. Shine, son. Too much inspiration, and then I can't decide what to prioritize. True. I mean, prioritizing, like, I don't even get to the prioritizing stage. You know what I mean? I get to the daydream stage of it and get comfortable. I've been not sleeping well, and then sleeping like to make up for it, and sleeping really well, and then like that ends up like messing me up on my sleep for the next couple days. Like I'm starting to think now that I'm on like this like weird 36-hour clock or something like that. It might even be weirder than that. It might be like 38 38-hour clock. You know what I mean? It's like you can go for about you can go for about 30 hours, and then you need to lay down, get your 8 hours. So yeah, that doesn't work for the calendar or a work schedule. That's all right. I have a human alarm clock, Angie, and she makes sure that I get up so I can go and make the bills. GNC, how do, sir? GNC has a Way of Makers podcast on Sunday evenings. I recommend you check it out. I feel like this next week's going to be a really great show, but I'm biased. Yeah, only Oscars. I kind of nap every 4 to 5 hours. I nap after 4 to 5 hours, and sometimes I'm getting a good amount of sleep in. Sometimes I'm only getting five. You know what I mean? Like, but that's still a decent sleep for me. Like, I'm not gonna shake my head at it. It's like I'd like 8 or 9 hours, honestly, on my days off when I don't have anything pressing. You know what I mean? Like, and I can do what I want. I would like to get more. I would like to get more like 8 or 9 hours of sleep at a time at the same time every day, like during the day. But I mean, it doesn't always happen. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Fathom. Yeah, I've done that. And like that's kind of what like ends up happening to me on the weekends. Like I totally messed myself up. I slept on Saturday probably from like I probably got like 5 hours of sleep. And then like I was like up at like 5 or 6 p.m. and then I fell asleep again around like 11. And then I slept all the way till like 7 in the morning. You know what I mean? And then I'm up at 7, and it's like, well, if I add that up over the last 24 hours, I had like 16 hours of sleep. You know what I mean? The odds of me sleeping today are probably slim and none, especially since I just got up. So yeah, I end up screwing up my sleep schedule on the weekend, which is 4 days long for me. And then it's a little rough on those 3 nights, but all I got to do is push through 3 nights, and then I can sleep all day Sunday once I finally go to sleep. So it's all good. I need to make myself physically go out and do something and like set a timer for like 15 minutes, and if at the end of 15 minutes I don't feel like stopping what I'm doing, I will continue on. But I think that I'm never going to be motivated to start. I need to actually force myself to start doing things, and then like a flow will come. I think that is my next strategy. But that takes a level of self-discipline that I'm not super confident about. But you know what I mean? Like, hey man, we got to keep trying things. Got to keep trying every week. Jethro, you're asking for it, buddy. The bristle nose is gonna come out of there. Evening, Laura Zora. Welcome, welcome. We're watching my Angels and play around in the Saswasser tank here. That's Jethro in the foreground, and the background is Abraham Lincoln. They are a mating pair. They've laid eggs. I haven't successfully had babies, but my water parameters are too hard for the eggs to survive. So I think that's what's happening. It looks like they're eating them, but I think that they're trying to like move them around and stuff like that, and they break when they're trying to push them around because of I mean I know that my water is too hard for what they generally do. But maybe they Yeah, I'm thinking that the water chemistry is off for the eggs to be viable. But they've laid eggs dozens of times on the glass. Yeah, Stephen. Yeah, I can deal with 4 hours of sleep, like no problem. What's been happening to me is I've been like dipping in, and I've only been getting like two, and that is like that's rough on a lazy man like me. Is all I got to say. You know what I mean? Like, takes enough effort for me to lumber around and do the things that I have to do, which isn't much. It is 12 a.m. Thursday, January 30th in the Central Time Zone in the capital city of Texas. Cheers, y'all. Witching hour. There's one of the three bristle noses on the back glass moving around. Let me feed these guys real quick. Where then everybody gets a little bit of food. Let's go on a walk. Jethro's so eyeballing. It's going to be another nice, quiet night in the fish room. Seems like this would be a bad year to miss the Clash, so I'm going to try to make 3 events this year. Dallas, Aquashella, the ALA with a bunch of other groups. It's the CARES thing going on in June in San Antonio. Both of those events I can drive to, so they don't have an airplane ticket on them. So we might be able to roll it. Might not be staying at the big fancy hotel at Aquashella. Might be staying down the street. Sarah the Great, you're never late. You're always on time. So yeah, I ordered some new glasses and they should be in next week. I'm looking forward to being able to see again. It's been like a year. My vision isn't too bad, but reading small words has been a problem. Like I can't read a medication bottle without zooming in on it with my phone. It's been a problem. Yeah, SC Catahoula's. It'll be better when it's done. But yeah, man, that's a big job. That's right, Sarah. I always look to the Australians to tell me what tomorrow looks like. It's like, how is it? Is it gonna be good? Like everything working out all right? Sun coming up like normal and everything? Yeah, Adele was in here earlier, Sarah, and she said that it was hot and she was on her way to work. Hey, it's not a bad idea, Sarah. No, I like to have a chill time with you guys. It's late at night here in the States. So a lot of my stateside friends are supposed to be in bed already. But I do like sharing a tank with you guys and having a good time. I try to keep an eye on everything. I try to catch all the evening streams when I'm well, congratulations, June. You found a hack. You're in bed and on the internet. Look at you go. Look at you go. Mm. So yes, ma'am, it's 12:11 in the capital city of Texas. Yeah, Jeff doesn't sleep. No way, Jeff. I Hey man, you stay up as late as you want. I just consider you part of the night shift, you know what I mean? Like if you're doing this during the day too, I mean more power to you, you know what I mean? But I like to lay it down. I watched a bunch of movies today instead of sleeping. It was all right. I was entertained. Let's see if we can get a good view of Abraham Lincoln's other side here. Will she turn and show it to us? No, she just spit out a flake. She's like, nah. Hey, Xanadu, that makes you a friend of mine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fault anybody for not being here. Like, if you're asleep, you're asleep. You know what I mean? Like, I sleep through everybody's stream. You know what I mean? Like, I'm catching live streams. I just figured out that I got to wait 24 hours for the chat to be there. So if I want to see the chat in a stream on the replay, I need to make sure that it's 24 hours old. Not hard. You know what I mean? Like, I miss a lot during the day. But it's fun to see what's going on. There's Abraham Lincoln. Good shot. These guys are behaving real nice tonight. I'm really proud of them. They really do like hanging out at the back of the tank, like out of sight. But yeah, this is a 20-gallon tall. standard tank, and we're looking at it. We're looking at the end of it, so it's a little deep. Hey, Debs, good to see you. Welcome in. I'm glad you're up. I'm glad you're getting ready for work. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Just do what you got to do so that you could come home and relax for a minute. I'm excited for everybody. It's a great time to be in my fish room right now. Temperature controlled in here. It tries to maintain 80 degrees. I believe it is um, keeping that for most of the room. So stoked about my checker bar babies that came in on a plant. So the eggs and or babies are definitely getting eaten by the community. So we can't trust the rosy barbs to breed on their own. As a colony, they take care of their own. The bristle nose is being a jerk. I love it. It's gonna out cichlid the cichlid. Yum 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 yum. Fins raised. Teddy Sunrise. This is a 20-gallon tall. We're looking at the end of it. I have here. It's behind me here. So you see, I got four of them next to each other on this shelf here, and then I've got 20-gallon longs on end, and then up top I have five 10-gallon tanks on end. And I do not recommend following my video on, oh, I didn't make it. That's why. Okay, never mind. You're safe. Don't do it how I did it. I had to make some adjustments after the second shelf. No, the third shelf fell onto the second shelf. There's also a shelf on the floor that has 120-gallon long on it, but I have room for 3 more. Yeah, there's no reason to make a stand this tall. Having to do anything with the fish and stuff on the top shelf, I have to get on the step stool for. It's just not worth it. Like, I would like to get on a step stool to reach into the bottom of some tanks so that I do have some tanks that are at eye level when I'm standing up. But as far as putting tanks above my head, I'm thinking that I don't like that as much. And since I'm temperature controlling the room, I think that it would be better to not have stands that are that tall, because they're going to block the airflow. Now, to where it is, like, that wall has my unit on it, and then it's right there. So it's directly across from where it's going. Nothing is too high. And then I have 2 stands over there. So there's 10 more tanks over there. And they're all overgrown with tiger bell. Yeah, no problem, Teddy Sunrise. Like, welcome in, freaking love it, dude. Like, this is a great spot. This is something I do every Wednesday night from 11 to 12:30 Central Time. And it's my hosting, and basically the theme right now is checking out a tank or tanks. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's another one. I'll move it halfway through or something like that, and we just watch a fish tank and kind of like hang out and talk about whatever. I try to keep it low key, try to keep it positive. Sometimes I complain about things, but I try to mostly be positive. I just want to hang out with some people and, like, we all just kind of be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't have the energy for it. Like, I don't want to argue with anybody either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in a live and let live mode. That's what I'm trying to, like, live my life as. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, it's moment to moment. You know what I mean? You got to keep re-choosing. I like to keep it light and funny. And this is a space where we can just get away from it all and just kind of like hang out for a bit. You don't have to spend all your time like this, but I think it's good for everybody to be able to come to a place like this and do such things. So I'm going to hold a space for that. In our ever chaotic world where everything is going on all the time, too much information, just like slow it down a little bit. Let's use this technology still, because it is a wonderful time to be alive. Talk to our friends in Australia, England, like all over the place. I love it. I like that we can all share what's going on in our fish room and share a fish tank, you know what I mean, with people around the world. You know what I mean? It's just, it's amazing to me. You know what I mean? Like, the thought was never in my head as, like 1995 when I moved to Austin, that I think in 1995 I got my first email address. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't I don't see me ever using one of those. That was my initial thought on it. And look at us now. My favorite aquatic plant and why? Well, that's just like my favorite fish. That's gonna change all the time. You know what I mean? It's just like, so I would say right now in this moment in my fish room, okay, we'll even limit it down to that. The plant that I like the most, I'm gonna go ahead and say the freaking spiral valve. I don't think it gets, I mean, it's classic. It's been around forever in the hobby. It's the one you draw as a kid. Like, here, let me switch this. Bring this over. Back camera. I mean, look how pretty that gal is. Just spirally. It's like a Vallisneria. I like that guy a whole lot. There's Bucephalandra right next to it. There's one of those baby checker barbs. They got a little dot on their tail. That's how I figured it out. I had to wait for them to get out of their eyelash stage. Um, this plant here has really long leaves, and they're dimpled. So it goes up to the top of the tank and then like kind of like curls around, and it's beautiful from the top as well as like growing up. And that is a cryptocorn balinese, I believe. So yeah, I like that one a whole lot as well. But yeah, the Buse has been going crazy. I've got it like floating in like all of these tanks. So I'm gonna make a big bush of it at some point. And like this right here is like a 2 week haul from, so it's Buse, it's what is that, Java moss. That is the one that Steven sent me, Colorado. Um, there's a bunch of Buse in here as well. Like it's just like growing like gangbusters. Like this is the length of things that I'm like cutting off, and I cut it off real low because it's growing so well. And then it splits at that low cut that I make. So then there's twice as much Buse. And this is all from the tank that I have at work, which for those of you that are getting here now that didn't see it earlier, I have a 1 minute vid of that. And that's my tank at work. And that's probably my best work. And you can see I've got the Balinese in there. There's some wood in there. It's got Java moss growing all over it. I tucked Java moss into the rocks. Um, you can't see the tiger Val in this picture. It's behind the Colorado, which is behind the spiral Val on the right hand side. But I've got a couple of small Anubias plants that are doing well. And then what's the dwarf Val? I can't remember the name of it, but it grows shorter. I have that in the foreground, and it's doing very well, and it's sending runners and like filling in some of the rocks, and I like that as well. But my client at work allowed me to bring them a tank. I talked about fish long enough that hold on, that's the back wall of my, there's my belly. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, he decided that he wanted a tank at work, and I was like, I can make that happen. He was like, is it going to be expensive? And I was like, we can do this with all things that I have in my house. Like, this can be free, bro. Like, you could have your first aquarium and like it's sponsored, basically. And he was like, I'm into that. So we talked about all the different things, and I was like, we're going to have to pull fish out of there all the time if we put males and females in there. And I showed him the male and female of the guppy, and he was like, hey, man, let's just make it like all boys. And then we don't have to worry about that. And I was like, and I'll only put one pleco in there, one juvenile pleco in there. Then we don't have to worry about a pleco explosion happening either. So all we've had to do is pull some snails out of there, and we did that. We did that with a slice of cucumber, and the bristlenose enjoyed that immensely. And so, yeah, we baited a whole bunch of them out. We got all the big ones out of there. Now we're waiting for the next generation to grow up. Next generation of snails to grow up, and we'll just do it again. It's like Val Nana. Yeah, that might be it. Sagitt Sagittaria, Laura Zora. That's what it. That's Sagittaria is the name that I'm recognizing. But like, I only pick like part of the scientific name of the plant. I'm like, that's all I can remember. Like, I've got to get better at it. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta be better. Yeah, I gotta get better at it. But the plants are real cool, and I wasn't sure when I started the hobby about having plants in the aquarium and whether I was going to be able to do that. And I did the research and stuff like that, and I basically started out with all stuff that was low light and easy to grow. And I mean, it was a trial by fire, you know what I mean? And like, I'd buy plants and put them everywhere and they die. And I'd buy plants and I put them everywhere and they die. And then at some point they stopped dying and then they started like multiplying. And then I was just able to like grab out of one tank and be able to plant it in another, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. And now I've got just jungles everywhere. And I've had duckweed from day one. And hey, man, it's in every tank. It's in every tank except for the rosy barb tank. And the reason why it's not in the rosy barb tank is because the rosy barbs eat it. So I make sure they get some of that a couple times a week. Well, once a week, since we all know that I'm usually postponing everything until the last day before work. And I stay up all night doing my tanks. Then I sleep during the day and then I go work the night shift. So it all works out. But I wish I was spending more time in the fish room, and I just got to get up off my butt and at the very least come and sit out here on my butt. You know what I mean? And then I would be in the fish room because the first step to doing something in your fish room is being in the fish room, and that is one of the things that I need to do. Yeah, only Oscars. I got plants in every tank, every tank. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a pain, and the duckweed is a pain, but if your duckweed is growing like gangbusters, like in your tank, like if you put a lot of flow on your tank, your duckweed will have some trouble like holding on, from what I understand. But I do not have a lot of flow in my tanks. I'm using sponge filters for pretty much everything out here. Um, but every week when I'm pulling duckweed off the top of all of these tanks, like I'm pulling the nitrogen out of the water. You know what I mean? Like the tank parameters are better for how much duckweed has grown. You know what I mean? If I don't keep up with the duckweed, it starts to get thick, it starts to like suffocate the tank. The plants stop doing as well because the duckweed's blocking all the light, blah blah blah. But I mean, if you keep up with it, when you're pulling it out, you're pulling the nitrogen out. um you know what I mean? Like it's helping the water. And so in that regard, I kind of do like it. And I do have some big old goldfish that I can feed duckweed to, and they'll sit and chew on it and spit out the leaves. Laura Zora, so you saved an indoor pond you have in the beginning, to be honest. Yeah, you think because of the duckweed you had? Yeah. And honestly, any plant that is coming out of the top of your tank that's like breathing air, like there's no restriction on getting CO2 like there is underwater. So like the plant does better when it's above the water. So it's going to use tons of nutrients and grow like crazy. Like my pothos has got some like really huge leaves, and we keep trimming it and moving it around the house. And sometimes the cuttings do well where we place them, and sometimes they don't. But we've got more wins than losses on that. My wife is very interested in moving the pothos around, and she likes that. Boots cats. Hello. Let's see. I only have 10% battery left. We're gonna hang out and talk for a few more minutes. I gotta plug this in. There we go. So yeah, we may lose the fish cam at some point, but we'll keep going until I kill the phone. You have a bright red Rex begonia that's been outgrowing my pothos for the past 6 months. It's crazy. I don't even know what a red Rex begonia is. I Is a begonia, is that the one that has fuzzy leaves? Like it's velvety? It's not like sandpaper, it's like velvety. Is I know that my mom has kept them before, so even if I'm wrong, I know that I've seen that plant before, but the picture isn't coming up in my head. I'm gonna have to look it up after. Yeah, there's lots of different varieties. Yeah. Yeah, my wife has gotten into house plants like a little bit here of late, and is always messing with the plants and stuff like that. And it's very cool. There's Abraham Lincoln giving us a good shot of the beard. That's good, June. It's time for a nap. I got tanks to clean. I don't have time for that. I got to put on some disco music or something. freaking figure it out, man. I'm about jolted on this coffee, though. I'm doing good. So I think I'm going to have a little snack and get on it here in a few minutes. I want to thank everybody for coming by, checking in. Replay crew, if you're here, you're playing this in the background. Hey, you want to know what? God bless you. And I hope that you enjoyed yourself and my ramblings. I sure did enjoy myself this evening. As always, man, community helps your mental health. You guys helped me out a whole lot. I hope you have some fun too. Like, let's do this again next week, 11 o'clock Central Time. I'll see you on the next Witching Hour.